It's nice to see you again in this video, and in case you ain't subscribed to my channel, you can feel free to subscribe, turn on the notifications icon so that you don't miss any of the videos that I'll be uploading. I also appreciate to all of you that subscribe to my channel. So now in this video, I'm going to be showing you how we can perform our Windows version using Cobalt Strike. Cobalt Strike, it is a C2 server that has been in play for a couple of years. Now, when you mention about the name Cobalt Strike, many red teamers tend to know this. So I got hands-on to my Cobalt Strike, and we are going to be using it to create up a payload which I'll submit to my Windows machine. Once it is executed, we shall be having our listener in the Cobalt Strike ready to take action. But before we start, this video is strictly made for educational purposes only. All penetration testing shown in this video is performed in a controlled environment, which is the VirtualBox on my local machine. You shouldn't be attempted to try this on live servers without proper authorization. So now I'm going to go on and open up my terminal and start up my Cobalt Strike. So here, to start up your team server, you need to start this as a sudo user. So here, provide your IP address and provide the password to the server. So when I go on and execute this, I need to type in my password. Now once this is done, our team server is going to be started up. Now I need to also go on and set up a client so that we can get back our graphical interface. So I'm going to go on and divide up this screen. So start up my client. I'm going to just go on and start my start.sh. Now once this is successful, we used here a password of Greenet. It is the password that we are going to provide to our system so that we receive the graphical interface. So now here you can provide the username you want, and for a password you make sure that you provide the same password you set here while starting up your team server. So I'm going to just go on and click on connect. Now here we shall receive our graphical interface. Now if you have a display like this, you need to go on and set up a listener. So just come here to Cobalt Strike, come to listener. Then here we need to create one. Just click on add down here. We are going to name this perhaps YouTube. Then we are going to leave this beacon to HTTP, and I'm going to click on this plus. So this is my IP address of my Kali Linux. Simply it's going to be my callback host, and I'm going to leave this as default. Then I'm going to also click here to save. So our listener has been started up, and it is just a reverse HTTP with our IP address, and it is here. So the next thing to do is to go on and create up a payload. Creating up your payload in your Cobalt Strike, you just come here to attacks, then you can come here to packages, but you can also go on and try this. So if you come here and you click on generate payload variants, they will go on and create a couple of payloads having different file extensions. So let's just come here to packages, then we can come here to Windows executable. Now here we need to choose a listener, whereby we can choose this listener we had created earlier. Just tap on that listener and say choose. So here we need to create up a Windows exe, but in case you want to create another file, you can just go on and choose what you want down here. So I'm going to go on and choose my 64-bit. In case you want to generate a 32-bit, you can just remove this tick. So here, if you tap on generate, they will ask you the location where you want to save your payload. I'm going to go on and choose my desktop. Then let me just go on and delete this. Perhaps I could call this one my payload. So if I click on save, my payload has been generated to the desktop location. I'm going to just say okay. So let me just go on and open up my terminal. I want to show you where my payload is. So I need to go to the desktop, and here I'm going to just select this payload.exe. You see that our payload is present. So now I need to send this to my Windows computer, and in case it is executed, we shall be able to get access to this Windows machine. So here I just need to start up my Python server. So I'm going to just say python 3 -m http.server, and I'll be listening to port 80,000. So if I press enter, my server will be started up. Now here, if we come back to my Windows machine, I can just go on and open up my browser. You can type in your IP address and also port 80,000. So let me just go on and refresh this. Once it is successful, we shall have our files. Now here we see we have a connection to our server. Our files are going to be visible in Windows, which are here. So I'm going to just go on and tap on this payload. Now this is going to be stopped by the Mac of the web. I have to just press on a few tweaks so that this is downloaded on our computer. So when you try to see here, it has been stopped. Just come and tap on this one, then you click on keep. After, we can come here to show more, then click on keep anyway. Now for this tool to be downloaded here, I stopped my Windows Defender. If you try to see here, my real-time protection is turned off for just the study case. But in case you want to bypass your Windows Defender, you can look into more techniques that you can use so that you can bypass your antivirus. But here in just this video, I went on and turned this off. That's why we are able to download that application. So if I come here to my downloads, we see we have this payload. Since this was once stopped by our Mac of the web, and if we execute this, we shall return back a smart screen whereby we have to also click run on that. So if I execute this one, we have to just wait for a smart screen. Once we click on run, here on your left, you'll be able to see that we can get access to this Windows machine. So here, I don't know how long it's going to take, but we have to click run on smart screen. So this is our smart screen. The moment I click run here, in a few seconds, we shall have access to this Windows machine. So let me go on and click run. Let us just look here. Now, if you try to see here, it is game over for this Windows machine. We do have access to this. Now, if you are playing around your Cobalt Strike, it has many ways you can go on and interact with your machine. I can just tap on this one, right click, we have interact. So here we have different commands similar to what we have in our Meterpreter. We have also separate commands we can go on and we run with our Cobalt Strike. In case you want to see some of those commands, you can just go on and say help. Here you see a couple of commands whereby we can go on and even elevate our privileges. So now here you see we have our Mimikatz, we have the logo and passwords, the keylogger, we have the elevate, we have the downloads, we have the upload, we also have the desktop here. So perhaps in case you want to take a screenshot, we have here a command for screenshot. So I'm going to go on and say screenshot. Now I can just say SCR, then I'm going to press tab. They will autofill that command for you. If I press enter, the screenshot will be taken. Now you may ask yourself a question, how can I be able to see those screenshots? So if you just come here, you'll be able to interact with those. So we have this tab here. Now if I tap on that one, we shall be able to see the screenshots here in case everything is successful. By now we don't have any screenshot that was taken. Now here we just need for this command to take place, though I see it is very slow. I do expect the pyramid be on the virtual machine because it has only 1 GB of RAM, but this is the display of our Windows machine. Once the screenshot has been taken successful, we shall be having the same display and we shall be able to see them here in this location. So if you try to see here, our screenshot was sent and this was received. So if we come back here to screenshot, you see here we do have our user one. Now if I tap on this one, this is our screenshot that was executed. It just took a few seconds. So I can just go on and close this panel. Now let's say I want to see the real-time video for this user. I can just come back here, right click. Then if we come here to Explore, we have desktop VNC. So if I tap on this one, we see also our command for desktop here in the beacon has been executed. Once it is done, we shall be able to see everything taking place in real time on our Windows machine from our Cobalt Strike. So here it will take some time to set up our VNC server, as you try to see down here. Now it is successful. We see the port and also see the forwarding. So this is it. So if you try to see, this is the display we do have in our Windows machine. So I'm going to go on and minimize this. So let's see here if it is in real time. Now I minimized the other side. You also see here that tab was also minimized. We do have the real-time display of our windows in our Cobalt Strike. So I'm going to just go on and also close this. Perhaps you can go on and download stuff from your computer. We have the shell in case you want to run some shell commands. We also do have PowerShell. Now in case you want to use net commands, you can just go on and say net user. They will go on and display the users present on your Windows machine. So here we only have user 1 and it is there. Perhaps in case you want to get your privileges, we can just say get privs. They will show you the privileges present to the user that we are accessing right now. So we see here we don't have any super user privileges. You can just go on and proceed with our privilege escalation. With privilege escalation, we do have a command which is called elevate, but in case you want to know how to use a certain command, you can just go on and say help like elevate. They will show you how you can use this command. So here we have elevate. You provide the exploit, then you can provide a listener. So here let's just go on and just type elevate so that they can provide us with exploit. Now since I'm using an old version of my Cobalt Strike, it is 4.5, these ones will fail to go on and give me the administrator privileges. But let me just show you how we can use that. You can just say elevate, then here you can either say USC bypass. Let's just go with this one for token, and here you provide the listener. Now since we gave our listener YouTube, I can just say YouTube, and if you press enter, in case this command is successful, here we can return back another machine which has the lightning signs, which shows that we are running on the administrator privileges. But when you try to see here, this failed. Now here I can just come back here, right click, we can come here to Explorer and click here to process list. Now on process list, you'll be able to see all processes which are running on your Windows computer. It is better to understand these processes because you can go on and migrate your payload or your connection to any process which is running on our victim's machine, so that at least we can hide ourselves from the hunters. So here I can just choose any application in which I want to migrate my connection to. So here let me just go on and click maybe on search app, which is this one. So if I tap on this one, I'm going to just come here and click inject. Once I click on inject, I can just come here, choose my listener, which is YouTube, and just choose. Now in case this is successful, here we shall get back another machine which will be running from our search app.exe. I can just come back here to my beacon and we see if this command is taking place. So here this was hosted. All we have to do is to wait for a couple of seconds to see if we may get back our second connection. Unfortunately, this has taken long without giving us just the connection that we want, we can just come back here to the process and we choose any other application that we might want. Perhaps we do have the explorer.exe. We can just perhaps go for the notepad. We do have this LSAS. Perhaps I can just go on and choose this one. Let's go inject, tap on this one, choose, then our command will take place. But as that is running, let me just come back this side. Perhaps I could just go on and open up notepad and we try to inject in our notepad. So when I open up notepad, it will be visible in our process list. Now here I just need to go on and look for our notepad in the explorer.exe, which is this one. Since all applications are started by this, we shall be able to see our notepad and we can inject the notepad. Also our LSAS, we weren't successful to inject into the LSAS. Now here we see our commands have taken place, but we don't have a second connection to this. So here to inject, you see the command is inject. You provide your process ID, which is the PID. You can provide the architecture, then you can also provide the listener. But also here you can just go on and say help, then you type inject. Now here you see you provide the PID, you provide the architecture, and also the listener. Now even though we weren't successful to migrate our connection to another application, but we managed to get access to our Windows machine using Cobalt Strike. So in case you want to see me creating more videos in attacking Windows machine with Cobalt Strike, you can leave the message in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video.